working right now. Okay, looks like it's going. Welcome, good morning. All right, I think we're live, everybody. Good to see you all. This is Sunday morning meditation on behalf of Awakening Truth. I'm here with Brian, and we are excited to be here with you. What's today? It's Sunday, July 12th. We celebrated freedom last week, independence. Yeah, and the topic I brought this morning, I'll offer a little doormat, and then Brian's going to offer us some meditation this morning. The topic I brought is, what does it mean to live for others? And I am in the midst of big life changes. I have gone through releasing a marriage this year, and now I'm visiting with family in California. And it's a time of renewing relationships and reflecting on relationships because it's such a big life transition. So I wanted to share with you some of the Buddha's teachings and other teachers and what they do at times of great change in their life. And I wanted to start with a quote from Ajahn Chah. There's a book called, I believe it's called The Path of Heart, something close to that. It's a big red and black book. And Amatana Santi and Brian and I, we've all learned a little bit about his background with the Thai forest tradition of Theravada. We come from different forms of Buddhism. We've all practiced different forms of Buddhism. And Ajahn Chah comes from a lineage that practices in the forest, and they spend time in nature. And in this book, he talks about his time standing in a forest and parallels it with his time sitting in meditation. So as I share this quote, I want you to close your eyes. And if you're driving, don't do that. Wait to do this when you can. Close your eyes when you're walking or sitting. And when you close your eyes, what do you experience in your body right now? What's the first thing you experience? Is it the weight of your body? Perhaps you experience oops, sorry for the car. Experience the light behind your eyes. Perhaps that's the first thing you experience. Oh, my eyelids. Or the feeling of the eyes. Perhaps the eyes are moving, twitching. Once you have that experience in your mind, that first experience, Ajahn Chah's quote was, um, whether I'm standing, turning to the right, to the left, behind me, in front of me, in any direction that I move, there is stillness. And I want you to picture going inside your body as with your eyes closed right now. Where's the still place? And I want to give you a few examples. If I'm focused on the light right as I close my eyes, the still place is my awareness and the source of my awareness. Not just me as a witness, but where it's come from. That's the still place, because the awareness can constantly be moving. The light behind the eyes is changing. Where my mind goes and tracks my experience is changing. So in this way, the still place that Ajahn Chah speaks of, just as the car moves by, the still place always exists. It's a matter of us revealing it to ourselves. It's always there. All right, you can open your eyes now if you'd like. This quote I sat with for 15 years, I didn't really like it because it was like a Zen koan. I didn't know what it meant to me. It was really confusing. And to me, at times, relationships are really confusing. And in Theravada, in Zen, in Tibetan Buddhism, there's a beautiful hummingbird out here. In these three traditions, and in some Hindu traditions, there's a quality of stillness and movement. As we're walking, as we're moving, we can still be aware. There's three marks of existence. The first one is that we all suffer. And we're all going to be going through suffering. We're going through our day, going through traffic, talking to somebody. That's the first mark of existence. Another word for this is dukkha. Dukkha is in the Pali language. And the second mark of existence is change. Everything's changing. You experience that when you close your eyes. We experience it in the quote that there's stillness in the movement. It's a complete paradox. How can that be? How can that be so confusing? And the third mark of existence, it's not about who we are, who our self is, what we possess. It's not about our ego. Our ego is necessary to live. We're not discounting its importance, but it's not the path to self-realize, realize the source that's not moving, realize the stillness. And I'm reminded of this as I had a really challenging conversation with my sister yesterday. Did not go well. And I was thinking about, in particular, that third mark of existence, how it's not about me. And I really struggle because she makes it about herself, is my perception. And I chose to tell her that, which was not necessarily the nicest thing for me to say. But I wanted to tell her before I died. Right? And I'm in this big transition of a year. And the theme of today is how to live for others. And often a path of realization, as the Buddha taught, is made up of the ways that we act, the ways that we view our experiences in the world and put effort into them, and then how we concentrate and allow them to change us, allow the suffering to change. As he said in the Four Noble Truths, the suffering is there, the dukkha is there, there's a source, there's a way it releases, and there's a path. The part of the path around the view, we're going to look at view and effort today. And many times, the Buddha's Eightfold Path is talked about as the right way to do it. We're all going to have a right way. So when I bring up what does it mean to live for others, first it means, as my dad was talking about yesterday, that we want to learn about sympathy, empathy, and compassion. For me, having an interest and an intention and an effort towards learning about our impact on others, how we change them, how we make them suffer, and how we make it about them or make it about ourselves. That last one, anatta, not self. How do we make it about them? How do we make it about ourselves? How do we make it about both? Because we need to live, we need to go on, and we might want to have a strong relationship, have more trust and resilience and stillness in the movement of the relationship. awareness of the source of the relationship and why it's there. What's the karma? What's the reason behind this incarnation? The view is the intention, and if we're going to purify our intentions to come back to Ajahn Chah's quote, to find the source, find the reason behind why we exist, then our view is very important. It's the start of the path. It's often the first thing we talk about. It's the start of the dependent origination cycle of all suffering. It's the start of suffering. It's the start of any action. It's the start of deciding if a thought is worthy of our attention or not. So intention and right view, let's start there. And if we're going to consider sympathy, my dad looks at me and he says, "Do you know what sympathy is?" And he teaches many therapy classes and he says, "This is the quality of being present with somebody, listening to them, being with them." So if our only intention is to offer our presence, in this way, he says we can learn to understand each other. The second quality is empathy, to ask a question and to be curious. And right over my dad's kitchen, he received from his dad, my grandfather, Grandpa Richard, this sign. It says Ankaro and Paro. And Ankaro and Paro is always learning, always humble, never really know. And sympathy is what my dad said. I've never heard this way of describing it. It touched my heart. You take the time to ask someone how they feel and you listen to it instead of making it about yourself. What he described was the meaning of living for someone in the moment is empathy. That you're really only there to listen to them and ask them a question about how they feel, what's happening. That was his way of describing empathy. And I thought it was so beautiful, so simple, that the only intention is to live for them in the moment. That's it. I have all these fancy definitions, all these books, you know, and it's you don't need that, right? Ankaro and Paro, just take the time to learn more about them. This is what I always wanted from my sister, and I told her that. I don't know if it was a mistake, but it's okay. So, compassion, right? Compassion is when we understand each other. We're not trying to change each other. We're letting ourselves change as we change. Yeah. So, right effort, I believe, is taking sympathy, empathy, and compassion into consideration when we consider what does it mean to live for others. And I'm focused solely on that conversation we have with others, with the people in our lives, coworkers, friends, family, people we really love, people we can barely be around, people we don't know, people we're scared of, people we're confused by, people we've hurt and we don't know why, people who've hurt us and we don't know why. But if we use Ankaro and Paro and we ask the question, I know I've talked about this a lot before, if we use curiosity, we break the chain of suffering. We break the chain of our own perception being the thing we're attached to, our own effort being the thing we're attached to. If we're attached to having a result, having an outcome, having an understanding, even a view, if we're attached to a view, this was always a really hard teaching for me. It was confusing. I wouldn't say it's not hard now. It's still hard now. I think the only thing that makes it easier is that I'm willing to continue to ask the question, Ankaro Imparo, is there another way? Is there another view if this one's not working? Is there another way to listen? To be there for somebody, to live for somebody else in the moment? Only that conversation. You're standing and walking to a clerk to get a receipt, or you need some help at the grocery store because your thing keeps blinking because you put the things through the line too quick, and they walk over. Do you acknowledge them as a person? Right? I don't know. I don't know if I always do. I just really want to get through the line and get out the door. These are opportunities to have a conversation. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. Look them in the eye or look at them and say, oh, well, this is giving me trouble. Pause for a moment. So, this tough conversation with my sister, I think it's important for me to remember the three marks of existence. It will change. It's changed over time. It will continue to change. We're going to suffer. But we have a way to find the source of stillness in the movement of the changes of the relationship, to make it not about ourselves. I can't control if she's going to do that or not. And I need to stop trying to control that or want that if it doesn't exist. And accept things as they are. And as Goldstein says, I love the way he says this, forgiveness is letting go. I think Cornfield has said it too, Jack Cornfield. Forgiveness is letting go of all hope of a better past. Just being with what is. Letting things be as they are. So that's our little Dharmat. So now Brian will lead us through a meditation. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you. So find your seat. Sitting upright. Just feeling the solidity of your seat. Just feeling comfortable, noticing any contact points of where your feet are touching, where your hands are touching, the parts of your legs and your bottom. Just feeling all these contact points, noticing the temperatures. As we get grounded. In today's meditation on how do we show up? How do we work with these three marks of existence, the dukkha, the impermanence, and making it not about ourselves? So I am going to invite the bell. Invite the bell. First I'll wake up the bell, and then I'll invite the bell and sound the bell 3 times. Listen to the full sound of the bell. I invite you to stay with the bell from the moment you hear it to the moment it dissipates. breathing in a long breath. Know you are breathing in a long breath. When breathing out, know you are breathing out. Feeling the full draw of the breath in and the full draw of the breath out. Just noticing the quality of the breath, not changing it, just observing. And let the breath be natural. Breathing in, relaxing the whole body. Breathing out, relaxing the whole body. As we come into right effort, we set our intention to drop in to this stillness point that's always there amidst the change. Breathing in, relaxing the whole body. Breathing out, relaxing the whole body. Awakening right effort. Feeling the space our whole body occupies as we deepen our relaxation, our sacred space right here, right now, in this present moment. And just observing, how are we showing up for this present moment? This is where our right effort and intention help guide us. So gentle pointers to being present, and finding our true purpose, and finding this stillness place that's in a world that's always full of motion, everything in flux, everything changing. Yet this stillness point is always somewhere, and we have access to it. Our practice teaches us to drop into that stillness point. And it's always accessible. We just need the pause. You can pause with a simple breath, pause with a simple step, or just standing still, just for a brief moment. And dropping into the present moment. So dropping into this present moment, finding this stillness point in our body. And be aware of any mental activity that's taking place, any thinking. And just let that fade into the background, like background noise, like the wind or an air conditioner or a heater. Just let it fade into the background, any thinking. This stillness point is our teacher, this present moment. This is our true teacher. How do we show up? If we find ourselves drifting a little bit in thought, just come back to the breath gently, feeling ourselves very grounded and relaxed. Breathing in, knowing you're breathing in, and breathing out, knowing you're breathing out. And grounding ourselves, and finding that stillness place. In this place of stillness, there is no self. The ego has less grip on us. In this stillness point, we find compassion and open ourselves to empathy. And making this not about us, but our experience in the present moment. Not trying to change anything. It is said that one of the best things we can offer a loved one is our presence, just being truly with them. If we notice ourselves drifting, just come on back again to the present moment. Just coming back to the breath. Finding that stillness place, that's always there, always present. Really relaxing into the now. The eternal present. It's a deeper reality. In this meditation, we're really setting our intention to drop in to this stillness point, this stillness place that's inside us, and letting that present moment be our teacher. Dropping into that point, it's like the trunk of a tree. It's solid, stable, whereas the branches can get all blown around and swayed back and forth. But the trunk doesn't move. It stays put. It stays centered and grounded. It's a good visualization as to how to go through today. To be the trunk of the tree in the midst of even a storm. Being fully aware of the storm, but also aware of the stillness place amidst the storm. And being aware of any suffering that's there, being aware of everything that's in flux and changing, and letting go of ourselves. Making it not about me. Really showing up for what all is present. as we're dropping into this place of rest, I want to offer a paraphrase of a quote from a fellow traveler on our path, and not coming from a spiritual tradition. He's a pianist. It's Arthur Rubinstein. And he talked about the notes. The notes weren't important. It was the stillness between the notes that made the music. Imagine that. Sitting with life and the stillness between the notes, which makes the music. The stillness in our life between activities that create the fullness of presence. In a few more breaths, I'll invite the bell to close our meditation. Let's bring our attention back to our contact points of our seat, feeling our feet, our hands, our seat in this place, right here, right now. And listen to the sound of the bell as we close our meditation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. Did you stop the recording?
Um, Hmm. Trying to figure that part out.